Right guys, welcome back. So you're joining me, Nathan Stamp, and I'm actually on the Ginger Carpman's channel, so hopefully you enjoy.
Good morning and welcome with me, the Ginger Carpman. You join me here at Windsor Great Park. Today we're fishing the Obelisk Lake. So hopefully we can pick something up. It's not an easy lake obviously, but fishing here for 36 hours with Nathan Stamp, who's very kindly invited me. And so really looking forward to this. We were just doing a quick walk round and one guy fishing here has just caught a carp, about 14 pounds. So fingers crossed they're feeding. We can get some content for the video this time, unlike Brasenose last video. So yeah, so I'll be in touch. Speak to you soon. Well, your midday update, which is a couple of hours late. Nothing really happening at the moment. All three rods are in. Nathan's got all three rods in. Done a bit of spomming, so yeah, it's just wait and see now really. But I think we're going to be more sort of confident as the night time comes. Can't really see much. I've seen one fish moving around here. But yeah, so the rods are out and so we just wait and see now. Good thing is, if you look down there, do beers in the water, or beer of the week, so we'll be doing that later. Yeah, so I'll catch up with you later on. I'll give you an update later this evening. Nothing wrong with him.
14 and a half. 14.9.
So just to show you really what I use most of the time, so as you know, I use the Parker Baits wafters. This is the OG fish. Just put it, I'll use a D-rig and just put it straight onto a bait screw. Like so. And while I'm making the bag up, I always leave that soaking in some oil. So for the bags, I've got the Parker Baits OG fish crumb, and I just put a little bit in the bottom, just about that much, and then I drop the wafter in the magic dust I've got in there, so it just gives it a good coating, and then that goes in the PVA bag. And then I'm putting in some 4mm red pellet. Just think it's been quite successful using these because the carp see them, because they're obviously bright and they're quite spicy as well. I always just tie it off. I know everybody's got their own different ways of doing PVA bags. I just tie mine off. Just a couple of granny knots, as so. Trim off. And then I like to, I've got the flat spot, just the monster crab. And that's it. So the bag, you can see, it's got the oil in, the oil's just dripping out, the flat spot, red pellet, it's got the crumb at the bottom there. So right hand rod just whipped round again, bleeped. There's me thinking it's a carp. Mr. Roach. So yeah, not a bad size. But not Mr. Carp, unfortunately. So, so let's get him back. Get that rod back out again. Chair, you sabotaged me. He sabotaged me.
Right, have we got him in on? Yes, we have. Right, you're the week.
This is where your one goes now.
Yeah.
New jumper.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Right, so this week's beer of the week. Now, special mention goes to Nige.
Welcome with me, the Ginger Carpman, and today for episode 3 of On the Bank with, I'm joined by the legendary YouTube subscriber Nathan Stamp. So welcome, Nathan.
Cheers, mate.
Let's go. Good to see you, mate, and thank you for inviting me.
No, you're welcome, mate.
For this past 36 hours. It's been really great. I really enjoyed it here. So, and just sort of on that note, you've got like 3.4 thousand subscribers. How long have you been sort of doing YouTube? What's the time you've been?
Coming up to my 4th year. Probably.
Fourth,
coming
right.
up to my 4th. Yeah, it's about, it's almost like 1,000 a year. That's how,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Yes, it's about 4 years.
And what have you sort of done to sort of get that many? Because that's a good old figure to get. And
yeah, I mean, the first year when I started out, I didn't tell anyone. I just sort of did it for myself, and
right.
And then the guys on the syndicate found out, and they started watching my video, and then obviously, yeah, it just sort of grew really. I mean, I used to just do sort of almost every other week, and just it was quite regular.
Yeah.
On just my little campaign. And that was it. Yeah, it's just if I blanked,
you've really done well, haven't you? You've really done. You picked up a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I try to do my videos how I want to watch others.
Yeah,
you know, so I like, I mean, like the Thinking Anglers videos. You know, they're really obviously high quality. I can't compare to that, but I try and take little things of people's vlogs what I enjoy. So I like the rawness, but I also like a bit of music. So yeah, I've just done it my way, and then if people enjoy it, then fine. If if they don't, there's plenty of other people that can watch in there. So you can't please everyone.
So, and so, how long have you been fishing now? How many years have you been?
God. Well, I started fishing as a little, when my dad took me, and you wouldn't believe where I used to fish.
Huh, go on.
Dinton.
No.
Dinton, Black Swan. Yeah, Black and, well, I think it was Black Swan back then, or it might have been white. I can't remember. But Dinton, when it was just you could turn it, and Welly.
Wow.
Yeah, also my dad used to take me to Welly. But yeah, you got no chance of getting on there unless you got £3 grand in your pocket.
I was going to say, you've got no hope now, have you? So, and did you catch on that first trip?
No, I don't think. I think I just spent more time just skimming stones, mate, to be honest. I think my dad was just untangling our line. But no, so I sort of grew up. I suppose I started about 7, 8.
Yeah.
And going with my dad, and then there was a little local park where we fished and stuff like that. But then obviously, well, like I've told you, football was my big part of my life, and ended up playing football for a living, and then sort of, well, you can do it all. So fishing was on the back burner.
For those that you don't know, so when I was 16, I signed for Oxford United, and same Nathan was signed for Reading. So we're not like rivals, but yeah. And my role, I got made redundant because Oxford and Reading were going to merge and become the Thames Valley Royals. So yeah, so we're quite similar, and we're both painter and decorators.
Yeah,
so
our paths are very similar, aren't they?
Very, very similar. So PBs, what's your personal best at the moment?
Weight wise,
yeah,
well, 35.5.
Wow,
And it was
good fish.
it was that sea scale from here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not massive. There's lots, but you can only fish for what's in there. You know? I could go and campaign a water. It's not all about the weight. I mean, my most memorable capture was actually a 13-pounder because it was my first double fish, and I was blown away by it. So, it's sort of. I know PBs. Everyone says about it's just weight, but for me, I think there's a
lot of too much emphasis placed on PBs. Oh, mine, and everybody is so competitive with each other then. Whereas I think, like yourself, I'm not. I catch a fish. I've just lost one, unfortunately, and it didn't feel massive. But you know what? That would have made my day to catch a carp from such a beautiful lake as this.
It's a challenge, so it's not.
It is. So it's not always about, and I don't base my carp fishing career on. Yeah, it's nice to have a PB. Mine's only 32.8. Not the biggest in the world, but you know what? That's what it is. So, but no, it's a good old fish from here, isn't it? So.
Well, Mark Holmes always said you can only catch. It's access in time.
Yeah.
And if you've got a lake with only 35-pound fish as your top, then that's a.
Yeah.
For me, that's the achievement of catching the biggest.
And what rig did you catch it on?
That was my ever faithful spinner.
Was it?
Yeah, I love that rig.
Yeah, your old spinner
rig. Yeah, the Ronnie. Love it.
Is that your go-to? If you could only use one rig, going forward, you'd use a spinner, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because you can use it on the bottom as well.
Yeah.
So I'd use it a little waft
got
up.
different alternatives.
That would be my go-to. Yeah.
And bait-wise, so you can only pick one bait to use for the rest of your carping career. What would you pick? I know this is going to be tricky because you, with your
Oh yeah, obviously with the boilies and stuff that I buy. You know what? I would probably go bread.
Bread.
Just because back to the basics, back to the old park, where I grew up, and if I could only do anything, it would just be a bit of bread.
Yeah, see, on worms.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really weird, and people will watch this and go, "That's really bizarre."
Yeah.
But worms catch in the winter.
Yeah.
You put a bunch of worms on, and they're going to catch.
I mean, the thing is, boilies would be the thing at the moment. I would only want to use boilies now, but if you stripped it all right back and went back to basics, a bit of bread. Yeah.
No, definitely. That's how I caught my first carp, floating crust.
Exactly.
So,
no, that's it.
Right, real divisive subject: bait boats. Would you, or do you use a bait boat, or none of the places you fish?
I don't use a bait boat because they're not. I've never owned a bait boat because the lakeside they're not allowed. So again here, I've got no problem with a bait boat. If the lakes, let's be honest, over on the big lake, if there were bait boats allowed, you'd be a mug not to use one because there's so many areas that I can't get to. So I think it's
It's just you have a conversation with so many other anglers, and one will tell you, I can't stand them, I think they should be banned. The other one says they're great. As you know, I use one, and it's caught me fish. Yeah. It's caught me a lot of fish. But then we didn't use them here, and it's not quite nice to actually find spots and cast to and wrap up. And
I've got no real. I don't believe in all this. It's cheating. It's this and that and the other. It's different if you're. I think if you're putting a drone up, finding fish, and then you're dropping then it all gets a bit silly. But I think if you're taking a bait boat out, you still got to find your area.
It's not just
you might use an echo or whatever, but. No, it's personal to everyone. Everyone's different, aren't they?
I agree. I use one, but I don't have to. I'm quite happy, as you say, finding spots and wrapping up. And but so fish-wise, if you could choose commons or mirrors, what if you pulled in a nice 30-pounder? Would you like a common or a mirror? I'm the same. I love seeing a big, chunky mirror.
I just find them more unique, aren't they? They're all scale patterns. That's the main reason. That's solely the only reason, really. No, I'm commons are crazy, aren't they?
People have said to me, "Why do you prefer mirror?" Well, I think because they are different. Each one's different. And you get some with real big pineapple slices, and so I do like mirrors. And so, do you have a lucky charm on your rod pod or anything like that, or do you carry anything with you?
No, I literally have nothing. I'm not superstitious. you know, I'm one of those sort of people. I don't.
Yeah.
I just go with the flow, really. Yeah.
Yeah, no, as you see, I've got my little Snowy on my rod pod, which I know some people probably look at it, but it's got a sort of meaning to it.
Yeah, that's it.
When we climb Snowdonia, myself and my girlfriend, so yeah, so I always use that as a good luck charm. Didn't bring me much luck today, did it? Old Snowy didn't do very well today. Didn't get me in them weeds and didn't come out again. So, bite alarms. What are you currently using? What bite alarms?
I've just got the Sonic Gizmos, fairly cheap.
Yeah.
I used to have a set of ATTs, and it was just that the batteries were draining.
Yeah.
I didn't want to spend a fortune, and somebody had them, so I just they've been fine.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I use Sonics, not the Gizmos. Yeah. I've got the first Sonics out, but yeah, they're good bite alarms. I like them. Yeah, and I carry on using them personally.
I don't want too many gimmicks. I just want something that's going to be relatively reliable.
As we spoke yesterday, I like a single bleat when I know I don't want all these different tones and and multi-tones, and so if you could not fish for carp anymore, what species would you prefer? And don't tell me bream.
I was going to say,
do not tell me bream, otherwise we finish this interview now.
If I couldn't fish for carp,
what species would you?
You know what? In lakes, it'd probably be. I don't know. Maybe I was going to say barbel because I never caught barbel.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say barbel because I'd like to fish something like the river, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Barbel. Yeah, never caught one.
Yeah.
So.
No, mine's tench. I like a good tench, and but definitely wouldn't be Mr. Bream. So.
No, I've had enough of them.
Do you remember the first ever boilie you used?
Yes.
Because I can remember back, I used Richworth boiled ham flavoured boilies.
You know what? I don't even know what it was, but my mate had one, and they come in a obviously sealed bag.
Yeah.
There were no frozens.
Yeah.
And just side hooking it.
Yeah.
And almost blunting your hook. It was that hard, you know. And you think, what are these? We ended up just catapulting them each other because they were just horrible, you know. So we ended up, but yeah, they were just. I don't even know what they were.
Yeah.
But rock hard.
Yeah,
like
I remember
marbles.
going in Woolworths. And buying a pack of this Richworth, thinking, oh my god, this is going to take the world by storm.
They were the ones.
And then I got them to the bank side, and I was like, well, how would I put them on?
Yes,
And it was hair rigs had just come out and you had to have a matchstick.
Right.
And you pushed the matchstick inside the boilie, and that was
Yeah, we never knew. Like when we grew up, we didn't know anything about the hair rig because we didn't have any ones set. My dad never taught me. Just, you know, so
that was how I started off, with a piece of matchstick tied to a bit of fishing line off the bottom of the line. So, what's the favourite lake you've ever fished?
It's one of these two.
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it? I mean, you can't beat this.
This,
I mean, I haven't seen the main lake here, but this
stunning as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the surroundings as well here.
I mean, I could say Welly, but I don't remember. I was at Lytton and things and stuff like that. But no, this is just purely for the like, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, it's probably this one or one of these two.
Yeah, and sort of aims for the future. What you sort of got planned? What's your sort of main aims?
I've got the biggest out of here, so there's a couple more that I want to catch. That these fish are ancient,
right?
Like 45, maybe 50 years old, some of them. So there are a couple that I would love to catch before it shuts for the whole light trail in the winter.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, if that happens, then there's a few targets over on the big lake that I would love to get into as well. And there's some mysteries over there that no one knows about.
And like we were saying yesterday, nobody really knows what's in these lakes. It could be anything really.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, some real mysteries. They're so old in here. Yeah, some are probably passed on since, but you've probably got some real old fish in here. Certainly you don't know what size they are.
No, this is it. So
Right, we're all done, mate. That's the questions and answers all done. So thank you very much for taking the time to do this today. And again, thank you for inviting me here today.
Oh, you're welcome,
because it's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it.
Do it again, mate.
No, we definitely have to do a return visit. And if I don't catch this time, I'm catching next time. So
you have to get your name down on the list. Get your name down on the list and join.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Nathan.
Cheers.
Much appreciated. So
thanks, guys.
Speak to you soon.
Cheers,
guys.
I feel like grating on something.
You going through the weed? You're through it, ain't you? Jeez, that's a pike.
Salmon, isn't it?
That's a pike the way it's zipped off.
Yeah. funny drop back.
Yeah, I heard it go. Well done.
Yeah, just. What?
He's got some life in him.
Possessed, isn't it? I thought I'd lost him.
25 past 11 and I'm gutted. So Nathan was just caught a mirror and I was just over in his swim just doing a little bit of video footage, and I had an absolute one-toner on the middle rod, just ripped off. Picked it up, fish is on, playing it really nice, and got it through. And there's like a weed bed about 20 yards out in front of me, quite thick, and I knew the fish would obviously go through it, but I'm pulling it through okay. It's coming through. It was obviously in, but it's pulling through. All of a sudden the hook pulled. So yeah, I'm absolutely gutted, because obviously this isn't an easy water, and to come here on a guest ticket and to have the opportunity to try and catch one of the big carp in here, yeah, I was just gutted when I felt that hook pull as it was coming through the weed, but can't change it. That's the way things go.
Right, so we're in after a night of, I think it was 2 bream in the night, and I actually got cut off and managed to get the rig back out. We've got this, and I think it's £17.4, so yeah, nice result. Unfortunately, just as I've just put it in the retainer, unfortunately Nigel's just had a take, and it's just come off in the weed, which is a bit of a gutter. So yeah, it's sort of a bit of a shame for him, because it would have been a nicer, you know, could have done a double picture. What the fuck am I on about? I don't know. You know when you just
I'm going to get that Benny Hill music out again.
What am I on about? Double picture.
A double picture. Well, that's it. Time's up. Bib is down. Everything's packed away. Barra's ready for its first load to go back to the car. So I'm just going to pull the rods in. I'm disappointed I lost that carp, really am. But you know what? That's just one of those things. I ended up with 1 bream and 2 tench, and obviously the lost carp. So yeah, so not too bad for a one-nighter that we had. And Nathan obviously had the mirror carp and a couple of bream, and possibly a lost pike that bit his rig right through. So yeah, so just going to start getting the barras up to the car now, get the rods in, and then back on the road to Bournemouth. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. But that's it, all done. Just taking the last barrow load up to the car. So yes, I've had a great time, really enjoyed it fishing with Nathan here, and I'm sure if he has me I'll be back again, and this time I'll be more mindful of the weed and I won't pull the hook out. But no, it's just unfortunate, it's one of those things. So yeah, so in the car now, 2-hour drive back to Bournemouth and back to work tomorrow. See you all again soon, tight lines.